Happy holidays. We've got September the 1st, 2014. We've got a chemtrail sky filled with Obamacare profits, Goldman Sachs profits. You can look over here at the this part of the sky. You've got some more Goldman Sachs, Wall Street profits. I went to visit a friend of my father's yesterday that I went and told about chemtrails and fracking and smart meters, and of course he thought I was nuts. And he has pancreatic and skin cancer from the solar radiation management gift of Goldman Sachs, Obamacare, the Rothschilds, and all the bankers of the world, the elite of the elite. It's a gift. It's a gift to us. Get you into the hospitals. If you have a lot of money, they'll take your house, your savings, your 401k, and everything that you wanted to leave to your family is going to be gone. If you don't have any money, they get you into the hospital and they sick hospice on you. You know that Dr. Kevorkian company? You know, they sabotaged Dr. Kevorkian and said, oh, he's such a bad guy on the media, and all of a sudden they created hospice. And now they've got flowers and all the fancy stuff on their commercials. Oh, look how wonderful hospice is. And then people get up there and go, yes, they eased the pain of my dying mother. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they eased the pain, all right. they eased her pain. They created the problem. They got your reaction on TV. And then they profit from the solution. Problem, reaction, solution. Same thing with BP oil spill, you know, with the sun god. This is what's happening to your body, folks. This tree last year, and that means 6 months ago this tree was alive. Okay? It was flourishing. Produced over 150 grapefruit. And don't sit here and be stupid and tell me that the cold did it, because they created the cold with what they call solar radiation management. They blanketed the sun in the winter, and therefore you had a cold winter. Very easy formula for you people who can't understand. I'm knocking on your head right now. Wake up. If you don't wake up right now, you're going to be dead. Just like this tree. Now, this tree not only got some kind of worm on it, which I filmed on one of my earlier films. You got to go way back. But now it has a fungus on it. And guys, this is exactly what's happening to your body, your immune system. This tree's immune system was sabotaged in 1 month. Destroyed. Gone. Yes, trees have immune systems. And this one's immune system died. And don't tell me the cold kills them, because they've been living on this planet for thousands of years. Fruit trees. And they know how to dormant themselves. But when you mix in the chemicals that are in the water, the pesticides and the chemtrails and the nanotechnology, they can't dormant themselves. Their immune system is so shot. It's just like the reason why the elderly are dying first, because their immune system is not as strong as yours. They've got more toxic poison in their bodies. Their hands are filled with arthritis, which is nothing but fluoride that gathers around the bones. And what's so amazing is you go to the doctor and you say, yeah, I've got cancer, doc. And he tells you why you have cancer, and because some other bullshit reason that he tells you. He lies to you because he's loyal to Goldman Sachs, and he's loyal to Obama, and he's loyal to the Hippocratic Oath that he signed. So he's a paid liar, a drug-dealing pill pusher that masks illnesses and lies to the people. He is not the pillar of your community, people. Wake up. You know how the women on TV want to sleep with a doctor? Oh, I got to get me a doctor. Yeah, right. You got to get you a devil. Now, I'm not knocking all the doctors. Your hospital doctors, you're doing a great job. You're working hard. You're trying to be a human being. But you endocrine doctors, you pain management doctors, you disgust me. You disgust God. And you're just putting a big smile on Satan's face. He's so happy that you're part of his crew. And he's so happy that you're abiding by his Hippocratic oath. Satan is just rubbing his hands. He can't wait till your soul transfers to him upon your death. Because you've lied to so many people, you've deceived so many people, you've tricked and you've poisoned so many people with your pills. Could you imagine the wrath that is going to come down upon you? Every time you prescribed a pill, you've prescribed poison. And you knew it, some of you. Some of you are wolves, and some of you are sheeple, and you don't even know what the hell you're doing. But I don't think there's any difference in your wrath, because God gives you all the ability to learn. Instead of going out and drinking and partying and on your yacht. Because I used to make a lot more money than you, Mr. Doctor. Yes, I did. I remember approving loans for doctors that couldn't buy a car. And their ego was so big that they would say, well, I want this car. I would say, no, you can't have this car. Because the bank says no. I was a mediator between the bank and the car dealers. Well, his ego would say, well, I'm this and I'm a doctor and all this stuff. Well, I make 3 times more than you, sir. I'm looking at your income right here. You don't make that much money, and you're in debt from your college. You went to the school of Rockefeller of lies and tricks and deceptions, and now your ego is poisoned. You went to a school that poisoned your mind. Now your body and your heart and your soul is poisoned. And Satan's just rubbing his hands. He can't wait till you prescribe those poison pills, because every time you prescribe them, instead of natural healing, your soul diminishes just a little bit more every day. Imagine the pain management doctors that are giving out hundreds and hundreds of prescriptions per day. By phone now. You can call them in. Could you imagine the fate of your soul, sir? As a matter of fact, you know who's the highest paid doctors? Your pain management doctors. Because they're getting kickbacks from the pharma corporations. The more they prescribe, the more money and profits they get. And don't tell me, because I know I used to go hang out on the yachts of these psychopaths, alcoholics, pedophiles, drug dealers. They even sell drugs to children, teenagers. It's unbelievable. One of them thought that, well, I don't know this guy Fred too well. Yeah, he was worried about me because he has to be very suspicious of all his friends that he invites on a yacht. Because he's a drug dealer to children. Of course he's suspicious. Of course he's got to beware of his friends, because I might be a rat. Well, guys, I'm not a rat. I'm just standing by truth and God. I'll never mention the guy's name. I don't care. They're all like that. So what's a cop going to do? Watch this video and come arrest this guy? Right. Mr. Police Officer, you need to go arrest all of these pieces of crap. All you got to do is take a pill, do an analysis, a thorough analysis, not a college that's financed by Rothschild or a research facility that's financed by the Rothschilds and the foreign bankers that's only going to give you the results of what they want to give you. You actually have to analyze it, do it yourself, a self-analysis. And when you find poisons in it, like fluorides and rat poisons, which is the same thing, sodium fluoride, when you find this stuff in these pills and it doesn't belong in the pill, then you go and you take your little handcuffs and you go place them around the doctor's hands and you arrest him. And then you go arrest the pharma corporations, every one of them. And if you, instead of picking on these people with speeding tickets and all this minor profit stuff, okay, why don't you go get the real criminals? The real ones. Why don't you arrest the judges that let these guys go by? Seriously. They get away with murder. They're killing your parents, your families, right now. Every time your kid goes to the doctor and they say, well, here's a pill. Do an analysis on it. It has poison in it. Now, if I went to your child and give them poison, wouldn't you arrest me? Of course you would. But why can't you connect the dots and see that they're giving your children poison? And why don't you go arrest them? We can bring our troops home, protect our borders, and protect our Constitution like you swore to. That divorced all these foreign pharma corporations, banks, secret societies, and religions. That's what the Constitution was. It was a divorce from tyranny, and it's foreign. Maritime law, admiralty law, it's foreign. That's why your people are in prison. All these men are in prison for these stupid reasons, like an economy. They can't pay their child support, or smoking marijuana. Are you kidding me? Marijuana killed no one last year. Prescription pills killed thousands of people. Aspirin killed thousands of people, my friend, much less that stuff. And hospice is killing millions. Cancer is killing millions, and it was all created in a lab. And by the way, there's a cure. Go arrest the people that are hoarding the cure. Go arrest the medias that are hoarding the cure. Why aren't they doing real investigative reporting instead of all this reading off of a script that comes from the government, that comes from the world bankers? Here's my script today. I'm Tom Cruise. I'm doing the news. I'm reading a script and I'm pretending to tell you the truth. That's exactly what they're doing. I worked in media. I work for banks. So you don't want to take my word? I know these criminals. I've worked for them. During 9/11, I went to a secret meeting the day of the 9/11. 8 years in lending business, never had a meeting like this. And they all wanted to know what we thought about 9/11. Well, I was the only one in the room that said, it looks rigged. Looks like somebody blew up a building. Now look at that cloud I filmed earlier. Look, I mean, not a cloud, well, chemtrail. And now you can see it almost looks like a cloud. You see, everything they do, even spraying you, is deceptive. That right there is a chemtrail that dissipated. Everything they do is deceptive. So I was the only one in the room that said, I think there were like 100 people in the meeting, that said, this doesn't make sense. Guys, I'm walking in the grass right now and my legs are on fire because there's flesh-eating bacteria in our grass right now. Seriously. It's not red bugs. It's the same thing that's in the Gulf of Mexico. Same shit. Just different strand of a virus. So anyway, back to the meeting. I was the only one that said, it doesn't make sense. The building doesn't follow the speed of gravity when a plane hits. It would fall over, or it would, I don't even think it would fall, because I've stood at the base of those buildings and they're huge. An airplane would not crash it. I don't think 5 airplanes would collapse it. 6 of them wouldn't collapse it. It is huge. And all the plane's made out of is just aluminum. And the fuel doesn't get hot enough to burn steel. That's a fact. You can take airplane fuel and put it on steel and heat it up for 10 years. It never melts steel, ever. So why was the steel melted? Why did concrete turn into powder from way up there to down there? Just turn complete. Why were there explosions that kept going off? Why did Building 7 fall? Mr. Police Officer, why aren't you arresting these people? Why aren't you doing your real constitutional job? Because they're about to steal your country. And I'm going to tell you, when they steal your country, I just watched a movie last night called Divergent, to where they were sucking out the smart people. If you were what they call a divergent, and you are aware, in other words, you knew what fear was and you knew how to conquer fear, and you were fearless, that they killed you. That's exactly what they're doing now with surveillance, gang stalking, and targeted individuals and harassment, and you're helping them. But what's wrong with a person who is not afraid of global bankers? They're not afraid of death. What's wrong with people like that? I'm going to tell you what's wrong with them. They belong on this planet. And the people that live in fear don't. You don't belong on this planet. There's something wrong with you. Or you need to go back to re-education, and you need to, your mommy didn't breastfeed you, and you don't know how to conquer your fears. I mean, if there was somebody in the woods right now targeting me, shoot me in the head, I don't really give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't really care. Oh, what's wrong with me? I'm not gonna bow down and submit and obey the suppressors of the world. There's something wrong with me, right? I'm the targeted individual, right? You all have a screw loose. You got something seriously wrong with you. I know what's happening to this world. And I'm sad for you. I'm fighting for your families and your children. And you're fighting for them, the enemy. Why? Not only that, the people that are unaware, why should I fight for your family and your children? Why? And you do nothing. Why should I love your wife and your children more than you love them? And that's a fact. That's why I do these broadcasts. And I know they're being surveillanced and blocked. Come on, I have a video that shows chemtrails at night on an infrared camera, right? And it's been up for 3 years, and I think it had 35 views on it. Are you kidding me? Come on. It's title tagged. Matter of fact, I worked for media. I was a search engine marketing expert, web crawling expert. Worked for one of the largest corporations in the world. Been thoroughly trained. Not only that, I knew more than they trained me. That's why they hired me, because I knew how to do search engine marketing, and I knew about how to market things on the internet. And I get 35 views on something that shows the chemtrails swirling in the air with infrared cameras. Are you kidding me? I've got pine trees on my property that are bent over. They're deformed. I filmed it. All the views came from the CIA, FBI, and NSA. And then they block you after they view it, and then you never get any more views ever again. And then people comment and say, oh yeah, I love your videos, and they're spooks. Seriously. They're trying to entrap you. And what do? I hope maybe one of these NSA agents will just wake the hell up. Get out of their little cubicle box, their slave box, and say, you know, I'm done with this. I'm going to go tell the people the truth because I've seen these videos. Well, no, they sit in the box because they go, well, they'll kill me when I walk away. Of course they're going to try to kill you. You're going to be a targeted individual. You're never going to get a job again because they control your credit report, your work history, and they control your criminal records. And look out, you'll get speeding tickets. All kind of things will happen to you. But it's nothing compared to what's going to happen to you when Satan grabs you. Because he's already got you. But when he takes you down in his hole, look out. There's nothing like eternal death and being separated from God. I don't know what hell's like. I'm not going to tell you it's a firing bit of hell, pit, because I don't know. I can't stand these religions that say, this is the way it is. Oh, shut up. God determines the way it is, and he is the creator God, not God, Lord, Satan, that you guys call it in the Bible. You actually read the Bible, and when you read these phrases, they're really talking about Satan, some of them. Seriously. That's why you have to read the Bible in code. Because it'll say, God says this, and he's going to do this to you, and you got to submit to Jesus Christ and all this stuff. And you read it, and you're like, wait a minute. If they replaced Yahweh with God and Lord 55,000 times in the Bible, then they change the words, and next thing you know, you're reading the paraphrase, and you're reading what Satan's going to do to you if you don't submit to him. Seriously, that's exactly what you're reading. But you don't want to listen to me. God's real. He's the creator. He's in your heart. He's the spirit. He's the light of the world. He's created everything. He's not the sun god that was thrown into the firing pit like Satan. You go to all your grocery stores, you see the sun god, sun god, sun god, rings of Saturn, sun god, Saturn worship. It's everywhere. The Pope's got it. The Mormons have it. The mega churches, they have all those symbols all over them. The dollar bill has the symbol. The oil companies have the symbol. And you know the oil company's been lying to you for years. Your car runs off of water. And I can prove it to you. You take the water out of the gas, car won't run. The water is the atom. The atom is the energy. If you don't believe that, and I've said this on all my other videos, take a hot stove with some grease on it, throw some water on it, and watch your house burn down. You will not be able to stop the reaction of the atom splitting. A hydrogen bomb is a compressed, what does a car do in the engine? It compresses the atom. What happens when you put too much water in your gas? It blows the gaskets because it's too much of an explosion. You got to have just a certain percentage because the block can't handle the explosion. It becomes almost nuclear. The more compression you add to it, it becomes a hydrogen bomb. That's what a hydrogen bomb is. Severe pressure of the atom. Boom, they split it. That's all it is. Next thing you know, you got a hole in the ground 2 miles deep from one atom. A human body has tens of thousands of atoms in it. And you don't think you're powerful enough to change the world by just doing what God tells you to do, the Creator God, not God, Lord, Satan, not Saturn, not Sun God. That's why you're going to have to throw away your possessions, because almost every possession you have has the symbol of Satan on it. Even your TV, your media, your movies, Satan, Satan, your religions, your government, Satan, Satan, Satan symbols everywhere, people. Your food, your water has Satan symbols on it. I bought some water the other day, had the sun god symbol on it. I'm supposed to drink some Satan water. Here's some Satan water. Have a nice day. Now we got children dumping buckets of water on their head, a satanic ritual to what? To baptize them, then fire and ice? They did a fire challenge, now they're doing an ice challenge. What is that? Who created fire? Satan did. Read, people. Who created ice? Satan did. God created the Eden of planet Earth. It was perfect. All you didn't need a house. The weather was perfect. You didn't need a car. You had fruit trees and berries and roots. Everything you need. The women hunted and gathered. The men, they did their tasks. Right? Or they both hunted and gathered together. I don't know. Women like shopping. To me, that's hunting and gathering. So obviously they hunted and gathered for thousands of years. Because when men go into a store, they're like, what the hell? Let me get out of here. The men were the protectors. Right? They were protecting you from the darkness, Satan, right? Well, now all the men are in prison, and the women aren't hunting and gathering. They're just shopping with the credit cards, banks, debts. It's just a stupid way to live, people. You can build a house from all the materials that are in the woods. You can eat from everything that's in the woods. But Satan has just consumed this planet. And now we go in the woods and there's mosquitoes that are eaten alive. We go in the grass and there's flesh-eating viruses. And we breathe our air, there's chemtrails in the air. We go to our oceans and there's a flesh-eating bacteria in the oceans and the fish are dying. Eugenics in the air. Hell, I'm changing into a monster creature right now. So, I'm not judging you. I'm not better than you. Because, you know, Satan, I've done some serious shit for Satan. But at least I woke up and I realized that I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not serving that hater of humanity. I don't know. You know, sometimes I think Satan is a pretty smart damn guy. He's very, very, very conniving and very smart. And he's literally eliminating not only the people that have chosen truth, that are awakened and aware, that are converting to truth, but he's going to eliminate you too. I don't know where my soul's going to go. And don't let any religion or any group or cult or science, it's all groups and cults, don't let them tell you where your soul's going. It's all bull. Only one being of light chooses your soul. And like I said, I don't even know where I'm going. And if you think, you look in the mirror and you say, oh, I'm going to the Lord. I'm going to choose Jesus Christ the Almighty. Yeah, go for it. Because if you're not living the life by the footsteps of Jesus Christ, hell, if you have a house and you have a mortgage, you're not living the life of Jesus Christ. If you have a car and a loan, You're not living the life of Jesus Christ. If you're working for the government, you're working for the enemy. You're not living the life of Jesus Christ. And then I can tell you 1,000 other reasons what you're not doing. And if you don't walk in the footsteps of Jesus Christ, you're not going to know him. You're going to be deceived. I promise you, because there's going to be many that comes in his name, and they're going to, and by the way, they'll come to wealth. Jesus never came to wealth, ever. He was a homeless man, and he was running from the police or the Roman soldiers because they had a creed to cut his head off. And so was his mother and father homeless. My dogs are playing. So what do we think about poor people right now? Well, we don't like them. Ooh, yuck. Matter of fact, the police are going to go rip up their tents. They can't even live in a tent underneath a highway because it's ugly for the city. Well, give me a break. Your city's ugly anyway. I think the most beautiful thing is people that are homeless gathering underneath a highway. That's beauty to me, because these people have let go of their possessions and they don't care anymore. These people are not homeless because they were forced to be homeless. Yes, of course they were forced a little bit, but it was also a decision. Because anytime you want to make money, all you got to do is sell your soul to Satan, and you can make money all you want. I know. And I know that very well. I chose to let it go. And every day I try to let go of more and more of possessions, the things that hold me and separate my mind from truth. And I think that you all need to do it, not just immediately, but like in the next 30 seconds. Thanks for listening.